Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome to a video just showcasing the most powerful commanders from the Final Fantasy set. I kind of want to talk about them from the card design and the gameplay design outside of their abilities, just because I think players, if you haven't played them or played against them, you don't know how devastating they can be and how pro utility they are until you actually witness them do work. Yeah. And honestly, these commanders are unlike any other commanders so far out of Magic the Gathering. Um, I like to think that the Final Fantasy set has created commanders and cards that are the same exact card, but three or two additional abilities on that card. Like when you get a commander that can transform, it's telling you, hey, keep your commander on the field and you get rewarded with additional abilities and like an additional milestone, right? That's the way I look at it. And usually these transform commanders, they need to be removed immediately because they get one type of triggered ability and it just goes downhill from there for your opposition. So yeah, Kefka Court Mage, he's on it. And Terra Magical Adept, she's on it. And I got an additional one for you too. So let's get started. Kefka Court Mage. 2 in Grixis colors, 4/5 body, legendary human wizard. Whenever Kefka enters or attacks, each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. Tap 8. Each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Transform Kefka. Activate only as a sorcery. Then Kefka turns into Ruler of Ruin, 5/7 body, legendary avatar wizard with flying, and says whenever an opponent loses life during your turn, you draw that many cards. Cool. That ability on Kefka Ruler of Ruin goes infinite. I'm sure y'all seen the videos of it by now, but honestly, Kefka is more devastating in its first form. When he enters and attacks, he's making your opponents discard cards, and you're discarding a card that you want to discard, and you get to draw cards for each card type among cards discarded this way. It only gets better because, you know, cards have multiple types, and you kind of get to choose what cards you want to discard anyway to get the additional +1 or additional +2 card. Now, there are 7 card types in the game: battles, instant, sorceries, enchantments, artifact, creature, planeswalkers, right? Those are different types. You're forcing your opponents to lose cards while you draw cards. You're just getting the card advantage, essentially wiping their hand while you reload your hand. Now, this ability happens when you play them. You tap 5 mana to cast it. Okay. What's around that time when you cast it? Players are may have already casted 2 or 3 cards or spells. I mean, they played a land and they're holding on to the good cards that they want to play. If you're forcing them to discard that one card, oh, oh, guess what happens? They're unable to play it. Then, if this happens when you attack, oh, that final card that they've been saving, they lose it. It goes into their graveyard. While you got to draw 2, 3 cards, reloading your hand, and more shenanigans. You can draw a reanimate spell, and the card that you discarded, you wanted to put a creature back into your hand. Or I mean onto the battlefield or into your hand. Like it's abusive. Kefka Core Mage is an abusive commander just off his first ability alone. This is a kill on sight commander. I guarantee it. Let me know otherwise if you think differently. Let's talk about Cloud Midgar Mercenary. For 2 white mana, 2/1 body. Legendary human soldier mercenary. When Cloud enters, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. As long as Cloud is equipped, if an ability of Cloud or an equipment attached to it triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. First of all, there are only 17 cards in the Magic universe that tutor for equipments. Just the fact that your commander can tutor an artifact when he enters the battlefield is amazing. Now, probably your first thought is tutoring the most powerful equipment that you can get. But based on your commander scenario, maybe you need a swift foot boots to give him hexproof. Maybe a mithril coat, right? Give him indestructible. That's where he gets amazing because you're tutoring any artifact equipment. And artifact equipments are powerful, especially the swords X and Y. They give protection to two different colors. So right then and there, you being able to tutor a specific sword X and Y to give yourself protection from maybe white, so you don't get hit with a sword to plowshares, maybe black, maybe like that prevent yourself from getting hit with an overkill. Like your commander stays on the battlefield. Literally, maybe the only way to get rid of Cloud for your opponent's perspective is to exile all artifact creatures, like a board wipe, or make you sacrifice him. That's it. For this mono white commander and attaching several equipments to him, that's his only downfall, is the equip cost of artifact equipments. Now, let's talk about the additional trigger ability. For example, Sword X and Y. Those swords X and Ys have triggered abilities when you attack and deal combat damage to a player. Doing that additional time is very abusive. Very abusive. Artifact equipments are colorless, so you're just able to do effects and abilities that are generally on other color guilds, schemes, pips. And to be able to do that on a mono white commander is very powerful. Very powerful. You're only limited to your creativity. That's it. And being able to trigger additional times, mana ramping, creature removal, untapping lands, making players discard cards twice, drawing double the cards. If you have to bust the sword, you get to draw cards and play two cards. Like it's amazing. That is like Cloud Midgar is in my opinion, powerful commander from this set. So I just wanted to show you an example of the only four commanders that tutor artifact equipments, only commanders that tutor artifact equipments. And look at them. Look at the colors they are. They cost 6 mana. Two of them cost 6 mana. Nuzan, Revered Bladesmith cost 6 mana. Godo Bandit Lord, Warlord cost 6 mana. Killian the Fey-Blooded costs 3. I'm not sure anybody even plays with this commander. Adventure spells are not my favorite. I've always shied away against them because they just seem lackluster. But Godo Bandalord has a bunch of infinite combos. That's cool. Nozan, I never seen anybody play with him. Anyway, he seems kind of stiff, like lacking in that ability. And they're heavy CMC. You don't get to play them. You don't get to play them. Anybody that says they went off a Godo Bandit Lord, your opponents don't run removal. Straight up, straight up. Mono red is just an easy creature victim. They get hit removal so easily. Like at the end of the day, if you're holding a chaos warp, you've been really holding on to it for the right time, and you're just an easy target in mono red. Cloud Midgar Mercenary is mono white. You know how many protection spells there are in mono white, and mono white is so powerful from removal because you can phase out. There's cards that phase out your creature. So anybody that plays a farewell, exile all creatures and all artifacts and all yada yada yada. Hey, if you phase out your commander Cloud, oh, he just comes back the next turn like nothing happened. Literally, nothing happened. So my final commander for y'all as the most powerful commander from the Final Fantasy set is Terra Magical Adept. I enjoy toolbox commanders and their toolbox abilities, but Terra Magical Adept, what makes her amazing is she's all 5 colors. For 1 red and a green, 4/2 body, human wizard warrior. When she enters, mill 5 cards. Put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way into your hand. There's not many cards that have impulse enchantment draw. Granted, she is an enchantress deck, but still, there's cards that draw enchantment specifically that you can add to this deck. But she has the ability transform, red, green, exile Terra, then returns to the battlefield transform. Under his own control, activate only as a sorcery. She becomes Esper Terra. right? Chapters 1, 2, and 3. Create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste. If it's a saga, put up to 3 lore counters on it. Sacrifice at the beginning of your next end step. Come on, man. We're just making copies of the most powerful enchantments in the game. What? 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 You're the only problem with her is if you did not pay and invest in your mana base. That's the only thing that can slow her down. That's the only thing that can slow her down. That's the only thing that would make your deck clunky if you play Terra Magical Adept. Otherwise, for chapter 4, you either you actually add 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 green, 2 red, and exile her and then return her to the battlefield. And guess what? She mills another 5 cards and you return another enchantment card milled this way into your hand. The cycle continues. Now, I really like the first ability because it gets you started playing the game. You self-mill for 5 cards, and you put an enchantment card from cards milled this way into your hand. It allows you to play the game effectively, efficiently, and 5 cards is a lot. Most of self-mill cards are doing 2 or 3 cards, not 5. Imagine on turn 3 milling 5 cards, and you have an enchantment deck. You're going to get an enchantment. You better, because you loaded it with enchantments. Why not? Let me show you some cards that are enchantment-oriented commanders. Now, when I say enchantment-oriented, I'm talking about when they enter the battlefield, they do something where they're looking for an enchantment or they put an enchantment to your hand some way, somehow. And I just want to show you how limited they are. But that's okay. Like, I think playing limited commander sometimes is actually fun. Deck building that way is fun. Like, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm actually kind of showcasing how powerful Terra Magical Adept is, which is the point of the video. But anyway, let's talk about Marina Vendrell. All 5 colors, Wooborg, 3/5 body, legendary human warlock. When she enters, reveal the top 7 cards of your library. Put all enchantment cards from among them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Tap, lock or unlock a door of target room you control, activate only as a sorcery. Cool. So you're playing those enchantments that have the lock or unlock ability, right? I thought that was okay. I had a friend that plays with Amanatu and all the enchantment door stuff. It was cool. It was cool. Like, either you get one ability or you unlock the other ability to get both abilities later on. Whatever chaos you kind of want to create. Not bad, right? But the payoff is all you got to do is tap her and you can lock or unlock a door and repeat this over and over. Next up, we got Nashi, Searcher in the Dark for blue-black 2/2 body, rat ninja wizard. He has menace. Whenever Nashi in the Dark deals combat damage to a player, you mill that many cards. You may put any number of legendary or enchantment cards from among them into your hand. If you put no cards in your hand this way, put a +1/+1 counter on Nashi. He's really good just because he gives you legendary or enchantment cards. But for the purpose of the video, the enchantment cards, it's not bad. You're just limited on how powerful he can get. Drawing 2 cards, or milling 2 cards is not bad. 3, 4, the more the merrier to actually cycle through your deck, manipulating your deck in graveyard, and ultimately casting stuff back from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's cool and all. But I'm telling you, Terra Magical Adept, she's mana ramp. She's all 5 colors. She's an enter the battlefield triggered ability. She transforms back over. You mill another 5. You put an enchantment card from your graveyard, mill this way back into your hand. She's just a cycling effect all in itself from the command zone. What else is there to say? So I would like to say that these commanders are the most powerful commanders in Final Fantasy, and I wouldn't hesitate to say in 2025 right now, just because they are their own creature loop. Like, you play them and you keep them on the battlefield, and you can get all these abilities and cycle it over and over just by itself. So you're actually limited on you're able to play other cards, right? Play other cards to help either expedite the ability or enhance the ability or the effect gameplay value that you're trying to do out there during your matches, right? But it's all on one card. So you're literally replacing all the cards that you would put in your deck for these abilities as the commander. That's all I'm saying. Pretty cool commanders. They're most powerful because they do all the abilities. Cloud Midgar is probably the 3rd most powerful from this set. you do have a chance forcing your opponents. Hopefully, your opponents have edict spells to make you sacrifice. Otherwise, they are in trouble. You will spend a lot of money on Cloud because, hey, those artifact equipments are outrageous. The really good ones, especially Sword, X, and Y. Thank you for watching this video. I'm your host, Commander Claw. Peace.